I was planning on making a video about a completely different and innocuous subject today, but some pretty enormous news came out yesterday, or 2 days ago by the time you're seeing this video. Colorado disqualified Trump from being on their ballot. Now, I want to preface everything I'm about to say in this video with the Supreme Court is almost certainly going to overturn this. We have a conservative majority Supreme Court. Some of them were handpicked by Trump himself. I can't see them not overturning this, but I'm happy to be wrong. But anyway, the reason why Colorado's Supreme Court made this decision is because of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, which says, "No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort of the enemies thereof." And given that January 6th happened, Colorado feels justified to pound Trump with the 14th Amendment. What are my thoughts on this? Again, even though there's a 95% chance the Supreme Court is going to overturn this, I don't mind this. In an ideal world, no state would allow this guy to be on their fucking ballots. We are 3 years removed from the 2020 election, and Trump is still fucking whining over how that election was supposedly rigged. Trump made the claim that he was initially leading in many states and then magically lost that lead, supposedly, completely ignoring the fact that many people were voting via absentee ballots that year because, in 2020 we were hit hard by a pandemic. Most of his base did not give a fuck about COVID, didn't care enough to take proper precaution against COVID, so they were the ones mostly who actually went out to vote. So therefore, their votes were counted first, and then all of the absentee ballots that overwhelmingly favored Biden came flooding in. He's also made baseless claims about poll watchers being thrown out of voting sites even though surveillance videos prove otherwise. The point I'm trying to make here is Trump has shamelessly told numerous lies to shape up a false narrative that he won 2020 instead of acting like a fucking adult and accepting his loss. This is not someone who I want to lead this country, someone who has flagrant disregard for democracy, all because one election didn't go his way. And because said election did not go his way, he riled his base, his cult up to storm the Capitol on January 6th. And what was the end goal exactly? Kill any members of Congress who weren't down with overturning democracy, all to appease a man-child who can't handle losing? It could have very easily have gone that way. Or at the very least, intimidate them into overturning democracy to again appease said man-child. Either way, this is not the behavior you expect from someone who was the President of the United fucking States. And I don't mean to sound like those middle-aged liberal wine moms who are obsessed with civility politics and get all upset whenever, Trump curses in a speech or some inconsequential bullshit like that. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Trump not having a care in the world that a majority of the country voted him out, and in spite of that, he says, nah, I want to stay in office anyway, again, despite a majority of voters saying, no, we don't want you there anymore. This is shit you would expect from a dictator in an underdeveloped country, not here at home, the supposed strongest nation on earth. And just to hammer home his dictator-like behavior, he literally posted this last year on his Truth Social platform in regards to losing the 2020 election. A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founders did not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections. It does not get any more clear-cut than that. This guy wants to terminate the U.S. Constitution all because he lost an election fair and fucking square. So spare me all of the talk about Trump being disqualified from Colorado's ballot supposedly being an anti-democracy move. Your guy does not care about democracy. He would rather see it dismantled if it meant he would never lose another election. He has no problem stripping choice away from voters to ensure that he stays in power. It doesn't get more anti-democratic than that. And if we lived in a fair and just world, the Supreme Court would absolutely stand behind Colorado's decision. But alas, we don't, and again, they most likely will overturn this decision. And Trump will likely be the GOP nominee in 2024 because, you know, the Republican Party is totally the pro-democracy party. Though there are some polls out there that show that Nikki Haley is currently surging that I guess are worth paying attention to, but all I have to say in response to that is, okay. If Nikki fucking Haley somehow gets the GOP nomination without Trump just suddenly dying or being thrown in a prison cell and being disqualified from running for president again, then I don't know, I'll upload a video of myself eating cat food or some shit. On second thought, no, don't hold me to that if that actually happens because I changed my mind. But I don't have to worry about that because that is almost certainly not going to fucking happen despite what polls say and despite what donors favor. Because a lot of GOP voters have no care in the world that the face of their party has no regard for the will of the people. This is the United States in 2023 going into 2024. What a fucking clown show we live in. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.